Hello camera, it's Mr. X here, and here we have Alien Soldier for MegaDrive's Custom, which I think says it all really. It's not a very good translation for this game, but who cares? It's a fun one, but it's very hard. Now the reason I'm making this video is because this is such a hard game. I downloaded it several weeks ago on the Wii Virtual Console, and I didn't realise you could play it with infinite continues at the time, but I was playing it in normal mode where you get precisely 3 lives to get through 25 stages, each with at least one boss that is almost dead bound to kill you the first time you fight him. It's a game for experienced players, and I had an idea to make a walkthrough for people that I thought maybe people would be requiring some help with the game. I'll just get into the thing. The first problem confronting you with this game is the fact that it's a very convoluted control system, and for another thing you've got all these weapons to set up at the beginning. So I'll go over what I do. The Buster Force is your basic weapon. Well, incidentally, all weapons have ammunition. They do refill themselves, but very slowly, so you want to try and keep them all topped up. Now then, the Buster Force is your standard machine gun type thing. It has a lot of ammo, and I always take one with me. The Flame Force is an extremely powerful weapon, but it runs out of ammo very, very fast, and it's also quite short range. I take one of them. I also take 2 Lancer Forces, because the Lancer Force, as you see, it fires one continuous beam for about a second, but it's also very damaging. Usual status window. Now, the control scheme is rather complicated, like I think in all games made by Treasure were the company that made this game. You can teleport by holding down an A, or up an A if you're on the ceiling. That's something that gets confusing later on. You can switch weapons by pressing some button. I don't know which one, I don't know what the names are. But it doesn't matter, you'll learn all that when you play the game yourself, you really have to experience it. Counter Force, pressing this fire button twice, that counters things which can make energy appear, which is very useful. Hovering like that, jump and press C, the buttons are there. Let's get into the game itself. I'm going to go through all the bosses in this game, but I'll also go for the first stage to show you what it's like. Another important thing is to learn how to switch between firing modes. When you're light you can stand still, and when you're like this you just move. Fairly simple. There's a power up there. You want to try and grab that when it's at the weapon that you're holding, because if you do, see the force meter there, it's got 2 orange bars added to it, which means that you've got more ammo. Now, on to the first boss. After changing that. Now this boss is quite mean. They throw him at the very start of the game. As you can see, the bosses all have huge life meters. This guy has a very small hitbox, which is his head there. As you can see, he's jittering all over the place, so it's hard to get a good shot on. It makes it very hard to fire things like your Lancer at him. And in addition, a new player is probably going to get killed by him, because if you touch almost any boss in this game, they'll take off tons of life. And to add insult to injury, you've got a very small time meter for this now. The Fire Force, as you can see, or Flame Force, whatever, is very powerful. Ah! But, well, you see, I'm out of ammo now, so he just fires this kind of dud ray or something. I stick with the Buster Force to shoot this guy. The Lancer Force isn't very likely to hit his head. When he sort of digs his teeth into the ground like that, you know he's going to jump up at you, so you should try and move away from him on the ceiling. Stick to the ceiling as much as you can in this fight, and hopefully you'll... well, after a bit of experience, you will beat him before the time runs out. The flies are very awkward. Use the counter force on bullets and things to bounce them back or get little energy stars like them. That is very important for bosses and other stuff. The counter force also damages people. I try to stick to the Buster Force throughout levels, even though it's out of ammo right now. There's a life up, increases your max HP. I didn't mention the Phoenix Force there, did I? Ah, see, I missed the power up there. Now the second boss is the Antroid. Switch to the standing still firing mode so you can get up close and personal. Also fire the Lancer Force at him from a close distance. And basically just try to keep out of his way. When he lunges backwards, it means he's going to fire a projectile weapon at you, in which case you should teleport behind him immediately. And you should teleport in front of him when he kicks at you like that. Sometimes you'll stand still and cover, that's a good place to get at him. The Shell Shogun. His head is weak point. This guy isn't that bad. All he can do is flash his sword at you, and it's very obvious when it's going to come. Try and keep away from him, and if need be, teleport through him before he slashes. As you can see, he makes it so obvious when he's going to try and slash at you. And again, when he tries to jump at you, it's very easy. Now, he's off screen there. When he swings his sword around, there's not much you can do but just stay away from him. If you're wondering how to get your hands on this power up here, my experience is to just jump up and down for a while. Eventually that guy sort of looks around and moves slightly closer towards you. Do it again. And eventually... oh, come on. Get a move on, you slow coach. Right. Yeah. Then you can jump through them and go back and you'll be able to pick it up. Remember, shooting at a power up makes it change the weapon you've got. So if you want to just get an upgrade for your current weapon, then you might well do that. Now this is the first boss where the counter force starts to become quite important. You'll get bombs dropping at you from the sky, and if you counter force one back it will hit them, which can do considerable damage. What you want to hit, the weak point to this boss is behind him. So you want to try and get behind his back as fast as possible. See bombs? Hit them? Nah, you counter force them and they fire. Simple. And of course teleport away from him as soon as he becomes too close for comfort. Now we have the crab boss, Madame Barbar. I have no idea why she's called Madame, or if it's even a she, but regardless, treasure named her that, so Madame Barbar it is. Shoot under her with the flame force. Watch out for those bombs, run away when she drops them. And same with the crabs. Now just try and stay underneath her when you can. When she raises her claws like that, run out of the way. Ah, the crabs jiggle you around like a circus ball. When the crabs get all under her, you've got to shoot them out of the way before you can get back under her again, or they'll just cause her problems. Again, bombs, get out of the way. Pick up the life forces and you may be able to perform a... well, I couldn't there, a phoenix force, where you dash at her. The phoenix force is when you teleport with full health, it automatically goes into this fiery teleportation. See, I'm not really a master of this game. Prepare to see me getting beaten up as well. I'm trying to give you some scraps.